Hello, my wonderful English learners. Welcome back to our channel. Before we start today's super practical lesson, I want to say something important. I upload new videos to our channel every day for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support me so I can continue doing this. You can help me see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of my videos. Please don't forget to do these. Thank you so much. Now let's solve one of the biggest problems English learners face.
Let me tell you a true story. A student named Daniel studied English for 5 years. He knew all the grammar rules. He had excellent test scores. But when he went to a coffee shop in New York and tried to order a croissant, the cashier looked confused. Daniel pronounced it perfectly, according to his textbook, croissant. But the cashier didn't understand until another customer said croissant, the way Americans actually say it. This is the problem we're solving today. Have you ever experienced something similar? You understand English when you read it or when your teacher speaks slowly, but when you listen to native speakers in real life, it sounds completely different. They speak fast, use strange expressions, and the pronunciation doesn't match what you learned. Today's lesson is about bridging that gap. We'll explore why real English sounds so different from textbook English, common phrases you won't find in textbooks but hear every day, practical scenarios with real expressions, how to train your ear to understand natural, fast English. By the end, you'll understand why native speakers say things like, "Want to grab a bite?" instead of, "Would you like to have a meal?" And you'll know how to handle real-world situations confidently. If you like this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Are you ready to learn real English? Let's begin.
Let's understand exactly why real conversations are so much harder than your English textbook. 3 major differences. 1. Speed and rhythm. Textbook English says, "How are you doing today?" Real English says, "How you doing?" said in 1 second. Native speakers don't pause between words the way your textbook shows. Words blend together. More examples. "What are you doing?" turns to, "What you doing?" "Do you want to go?" turns to, "Do you want to go?" "I am going to" turns to, "I'm gonna." Teaching note, these contractions and blends are called connected speech, essential for natural English. Number 2, informal language and slang. Let me tell you about Emma. She went to a business meeting in Canada. Her manager said, "Let's touch base next week." Emma knew the word touch and the word base, but together, she was confused. Touch base means have a quick meeting or conversation to update each other. Common expressions not in textbooks. Touch base equals have a brief meeting. Grab a bite equals get some food. Catch up equals talk after not seeing someone for a while. Hang out equals spend casual time together. Run by equals quickly tell someone about something. Practice. Repeat after me. Let's touch base tomorrow. Want to grab a bite after work? We should catch up soon.
3. Pronunciation versus spelling. Remember Daniel and the croissant? English spelling and pronunciation often don't match. Common pronunciation surprises. Wednesday sounds like Wednesday, not Wednesday.
Comfortable sounds like comfortable, not comfortable. Vegetable sounds like vegetable, not vegetable. Interesting sounds like interesting, not interesting. Teaching note: native speakers naturally reduce syllables in long words to speak faster. The bottom line: textbook English, clear, slow, formal, complete sentences. Real English, fast, informal, with slang, reduced sounds. Both are correct, but you need to understand both to communicate effectively.
Let's learn real English for common travel situations. Scenario 1. At the airport. A student named Sophia arrived in Australia. The immigration officer asked, "Do you have anything to declare?" Sophia froze. Declare sounded serious and legal. She panicked. What it really means is, are you bringing any food, alcohol, or items you need to pay tax on? Real airport phrases you need to know. What's the purpose of your visit? Equals, why are you here? Tourism, business, study. How long will you be staying? Equals, how many days, weeks? Anything to declare? Equals, do you have special items to report? Enjoy your stay. Means have a good time here. Practice these responses. I'm here for tourism. I'll be staying for 2 weeks. No, nothing to declare. Thank you very much.
In New York, I asked someone, "Excuse me, how do I get to Central Park?" They replied, very fast, "Just head straight for 2 blocks, take a left at the lights, you can't miss it." Let me break that down. Head straight means go forward, keep walking straight. For 2 blocks, 2 street sections. Take a left means turn left, not turn to the left. At the lights, at the traffic lights. You can't miss it. It's easy to find, very obvious. Teaching note: you can't miss it is a very common phrase meaning something is easy to find. Practice asking for directions. "Excuse me, how do I get to the train station? Is it walking distance? Could you repeat that, please?" Scenario 3. Hotels and problems. Real situation: the Wi-Fi wasn't working in my hotel room. Textbook way: "Excuse me, I am experiencing difficulties with the wireless internet connection in my accommodation." Real way: "Hi, the Wi-Fi isn't working in my room. Can someone help?" Common hotel phrases: "I'd like to check in" or "check out." "Could I get a wake-up call at 7 a.m.? The AC isn't working. AC is air conditioning. Is breakfast included? What time is checkout?" Useful responses from staff: "Let me check on that for you." "I'll investigate the problem." "I'll send someone up right away." "Someone will come to your room soon." "We'll sort that out." "We'll fix the problem." Teaching note: sort out is very common British English for fix or resolve. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us.
Now let's learn English for daily social situations. Scenario 1. Ordering food. A student named Mark went to a cafe. The cashier asked, "For here or to go?" Mark hesitated. He knew here and go, but this combination confused him. What it means: will you eat here in the cafe or take it with you? Real cafe or restaurant phrases: can I get a? Not I would like a, too formal. Example: can I get a cappuccino, please? For here or to go: eating here or taking away? That'll be $5.50. The total price is $5.50. Anything else? Do you want anything more? Here you go. Here's your order. Practice ordering. Can I get a large coffee, please? Pause. For here. Pause. No, that's all, thanks. Pause. Teaching note: can I get is much more common in casual speech than I would like or may I have.
Scenario 2. Small talk. Maria was nervous about small talk with colleagues. She thought it was unimportant, but she learned it's a huge part of everyday life. Common small talk openers. How was your weekend? Monday morning classic. Any plans for the weekend? Thursday, Friday question. Terrible weather today, isn't it? Talking about weather is universal. How's work treating you? Equals, how is your job going? Long time no see equals, I haven't seen you in a while. Responding to small talk. Pretty good, thanks. What about you? Reciprocate. Ask back. Nothing special, just relaxing. It's okay to be casual. Yeah, I know, right? Agreeing about weather or situation. Practice this mini conversation. Person A. How was your weekend? You. Pretty good, thanks. Went to the movies. What about you? Scenario 3. Talking about hobbies. This is a great, low-pressure way to practice English. Real expressions for hobbies. I'm really into equals, I really enjoy. I'm really into photography. I've been getting into equals, I recently started enjoying. I've been getting into hiking. I love. Simple and perfect. I'm trying to equals, I'm attempting to learn or improve. I'm trying to learn guitar. Example: I'm really into cooking. I love trying out new recipes. Recently, I've been getting into Asian cuisine. What about you? Are you into cooking? Teaching note. Adding, what about you? Encourages conversation flow. It's very natural. Practice talking about your hobbies. I'm really into. I love. I've been getting into.
Let's cover English for work situations. Business idioms you must know. Remember David from London? He understood English well, but was confused when his colleague said, "Let's wrap things up." Wrap things up means finish, conclude. Essential workplace idioms. Touch base. Have a brief meeting. Circle back to that. Return to discuss this point later. Keep me in the loop. Keep me informed. On the same page. Everyone understands and agrees. Move forward. Proceed, continue. Practice. Let's touch base next week. We should circle back to this point. Please keep me in the loop. Meetings and emails. In meetings. Could everyone please confirm their availability? Let's schedule a follow-up. Any questions before we wrap up? In emails. Formal start. I hope this email finds you well. Informal. Hey, just checking in about... Closing. Looking forward to hearing from you. Teaching note. Formal level depends on your relationship with the person and company culture. Asking for clarification. Very important. David learned to say, "Sorry, what does touch base mean?" His colleagues were happy to explain. Don't pretend to understand. Useful phrases. "Sorry, could you repeat that?" What does word mean? Could you explain that in simpler terms? I'm not familiar with that expression. These phrases show you're engaged and learning, not that you're incompetent.
Now let's talk about how to practice and build confidence. Technique 1, shadowing. This means repeating what you hear immediately after hearing it. Watch a TV show or podcast. When someone speaks, pause and repeat exactly what they said, including rhythm and intonation. Why it works? Your brain learns patterns. Your mouth builds muscle memory for English sounds. Technique 2, asking questions. Don't fake understanding. When you hear something new, ask, "Sorry, what does that mean?" Or, "Could you say that differently?" People are usually happy to help. It's not embarrassing. It's smart. Technique 3, practice with passion. Talk about topics you love. If you love football, practice describing matches. If you love cooking, describe recipes. When you're passionate about the topic, speaking becomes easier because you're focused on the message, not the grammar. Teaching note. Emotional engagement makes language learning more effective. The ultimate goal. It's not about being perfect. It's about being clear and feeling comfortable while communicating. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. Every conversation, successful or awkward, makes you better. Key mindset shift. Don't think, "I need to speak perfectly." Think, "I need to communicate my message clearly." Today, you've learned that there's a big gap between textbook English and real-world English, but you can bridge it. Quick review. The 3 main differences: speed and connected speech, slang and idioms, pronunciation versus spelling. Key real-world phrases. Touch base means brief meeting. Grab a bite means get food. For here to go means eat here or take away. Wrap things up means finish or conclude. You can't miss it means easy to find. Your action plan. Listen to authentic English daily, podcasts, TV shows, YouTube. Practice shadowing. Repeat what you hear. Don't be afraid to ask, "What does that mean?" Focus on communication, not perfection. Remember, every native English speaker learned by making thousands of mistakes. You will too, and that's completely normal. What's one phrase from today that you want to start using? Write it in the comments. Also, tell me, what's the biggest challenge you face with real English conversations? Thank you for spending 30 minutes with me today. Keep listening to Real English, keep practicing, and remember, you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to communicate effectively. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and don't be afraid of mistakes. They're proof you're trying.
Hello, my wonderful English learners. Welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into today's important grammar lesson, I want to say something from my heart. I upload new videos to our channel every day for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support me so I can continue doing this. You can help me see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of my videos. Please don't forget to do these. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's begin a lesson that will finally help you understand one of English's most confusing grammar topics. Let me ask you a question, and think carefully about which sentence sounds correct. I visited Japan in 2015, or I have visited Japan in 2015. I worked here for 5 years, or I have worked here for 5 years. If you're not sure, or if you sometimes use these tenses randomly, today's lesson is for you. Past simple and present perfect are two of the most confusing tenses in English. Many students understand them in theory, but struggle to use them correctly in real conversation. Teaching note: these tenses are confusing because both talk about the past, but they have different meanings. Today, I'm going to teach you these tenses in a special way, through storytelling. I'll share parts of my life story, and you'll hear exactly when and why I use each tense naturally. By the end of this 30-minute lesson, you'll understand when to use past simple. I did, I went, I saw. When to use present perfect. I have done, I have been, I have seen. The exact difference between them. How to use them naturally in conversation. We'll also practice the shadowing technique, repeating what I say to train your mouth and brain to use these tenses automatically. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Are you ready to master these tenses once and for all? Let's begin with my story. I'm going to tell you about my career, and I want you to listen carefully to when I use past simple and when I use present perfect. Don't worry, I'll explain everything afterward. My career journey. My first job was in a small coffee shop near my school. I worked there for 6 months when I was 18 years old. I cleaned tables, I made drinks, and I talked to customers every day. After university, I decided to find a more serious job. I applied to many places, and finally I got a position at a language center. I started teaching English in 2010. Now, I have worked as an English teacher for 15 years. I have taught in 3 different schools, and I have moved to a larger city. Over the years, I have created hundreds of lessons, I have designed many lesson plans, and I have organized speaking clubs for students. My first lesson was a disaster,
I was so nervous, but I have become more confident over time. Because of my students, I have become not just a better teacher, but also a better person. I have watched students grow and change. I have received hundreds of messages from people whose lives were changed by learning English. This has been the most rewarding part of my career. Did you notice the pattern? Let me shadow that last part with you. Repeat after me. I have worked as a teacher for 15 years. I have taught in 3 different schools. I started teaching in 2010. My first lesson was a disaster. Teaching note: shadowing means repeating immediately after the speaker to train your pronunciation and rhythm. Now, let me explain what's happening here. Grammar explanation. The key difference. Past simple. Use when the action happened at a specific, finished time in the past. Key words are yesterday, last week, in 2010, when I was 18 years old, 3 years ago. Examples from my story. I worked there for 6 months when I was 18 years old. Finished time, I don't work there now. I started teaching in 2010. Specific year, finished moment. My first lesson was a disaster. Specific past event. Structure. Subject plus past verb. I worked. I started. I was.
Present perfect. Use when the action started in the past but has a connection to now. Keywords for, since, already, yet, ever, never, up to now. 3 main uses. 1. Life experience. Unspecified past time. I have taught in 3 different schools. In my life, at some point. 2. Continuing situation. Still true now. I have worked as a teacher for 15 years. Started in past, still continuing. 3. Recent past with present result. I have become more confident. Happened in past, result is now. Structure. Subject plus have or has plus past participle. I have worked. I have taught. I have become. The critical difference. Past simple equals finished story, disconnected from now. Present perfect equals connection to present moment. Common mistake: don't use present perfect with specific past time words. Wrong. I have worked there in 2010. Right. I worked there in 2010. Wrong. I have started teaching yesterday. Right. I started teaching yesterday.
Now let me tell you about my travels. Again, listen for the 2 tenses. My travel adventures. I took my first trip abroad when I was 19. I went to France for 1 week, and it opened my eyes to the beauty of travel. The next year, I traveled to Spain for 3 weeks. I studied the language, and I lived with a host family. In 2015, I spent almost a month in Japan. I climbed Mount Fuji, and it was one of the hardest things I have ever done. That experience taught me about determination. Since then, I have visited more than 30 countries. I have stood under the northern lights in Iceland. I have watched sunrise in a desert. I have eaten street food in Thailand. I have sailed on a small boat in Greece.
Travel has taught me more than any classroom ever could. It has taught me patience, how to find joy in simple moments, and how to connect with people. But my journey isn't finished. I haven't seen South Africa yet, and I haven't explored South America properly. Those adventures are still waiting for me. Practice with me. Repeat these sentences. I went to France when I was 19. I have visited more than 30 countries. I climbed Mount Fuji in 2015. I have eaten street food in many countries. Notice how past simple tells completed stories while present perfect shows life experiences. Deeper understanding. When telling complete past stories, use past simple. I went to France for 1 week. Finished trip. I climbed Mount Fuji in 2015. Specific past event. I lived with a host family. Finished experience. When showing life experience or unfinished totals, use present perfect. I have visited more than 30 countries. In my life, total so far. I have eaten street food in Thailand. Life experience, time not important. I have stood under the northern lights. Experience I can talk about now. The negative form reveals the difference. Past simple, negative. I didn't go to Japan last year. Specific time, finished. Present perfect, negative. I haven't seen South Africa yet. In my life up to now, but maybe in future. Time expressions that signal each tense. Past simple signals yesterday, last week, in 2015, when I was 19, 3 years ago, in March. Present perfect signals ever, never, yet, already, so far, up to now, recently, just, for, since. If you like this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us.
Let me share my health journey to give you more examples. My health transformation. When I was younger, I didn't take care of my health. I ate a lot of fast food, I drank too many fizzy drinks, and I slept only a few hours each night. At age 25, I decided to make a change. I joined a gym and I started running. In the beginning, I couldn't run more than 2 kilometers, but I kept trying. 2 years later, I completed my first half marathon. That was in 2012, and it felt amazing. Since then, I have maintained a gym routine 3 to 4 times a week. I have stopped eating fast food daily. I have started cooking more at home. I have tried swimming, hiking, and yoga. For the past 5 years, I have meditated almost every morning. I have spent time in nature. I have learned that small habits over a long time can change your life. I'm not perfect. I have missed gym sessions, I have eaten junk food sometimes, but I haven't given up. And that's what matters. Let's practice together. Shadow these sentences. I decided to make a change at age 25. I have maintained a gym routine for many years. I completed my first half marathon in 2012. I have learned that small habits matter. Special focus, for versus since. These 2 words are crucial for present perfect. For is duration, how long. I have exercised for 5 years. I have lived here for 3 months. I have studied English for 2 years. Since is starting point, when it began. I have exercised since 2019.
I have lived here since January. I have studied English since I was a child. Common mistake. I exercise for 5 years. Missing have. That's I have exercised for 5 years. I have exercised since 5 years. Wrong word. I have exercised for 5 years. Already, yet, and just. These words work specifically with present perfect. Already means completed earlier than expected. Affirmative. I have already finished my homework. She has already eaten lunch. Yet means up to this time. It's usually for questions and for negative sentences. I haven't finished yet. Have you eaten yet? We also have just, which means very recently. I have just arrived. She has just left. The position in the sentence. Already is either before the past participle or at the end of the sentence. Yet is at the end of the sentence. Just is before the past participle.
Let me give you a complete comparison to make this crystal clear. Quick decision chart. Ask yourself, is the time mentioned or important? Yes is past simple. I visited Paris in 2020. I met her last week. I worked there for 5 years, but I don't work there now. No is present perfect. I have visited Paris many times. General experience. I have met her before. Time not important. I have worked here for 5 years. Still working here. Ask yourself, does it connect to now? No is past simple. I was a student. Finished. I'm not a student anymore. I lived in Tokyo. Past situation. Ended. Yes is present perfect. I have been a teacher for 10 years. Still am. I have lived in Tokyo since 2020. Still live there. Common sentence pairs. Let me show you how changing the tense changes the meaning. Pair 1. I lost my keys. Past simple. Specific moment. Might have found them. I have lost my keys. Present perfect. Result now. Still lost. Pair 2. Did you eat lunch? Past simple. Asking about specific past time. Have you eaten lunch? Present perfect. Asking about now. Are you hungry? Pair 3. I read that book last year. Past simple. Specific time. I have read that book. Present perfect. I know the content now. Pair 4. I went to Japan 3 times in 2019. Past simple. Finished year. I have been to Japan 3 times. Present perfect. Life total. Final practice. Your turn. Think about your own life. Try to create these sentences. One thing you did at a specific time in the past. Past simple. Example. I graduated from university in 2018. One thing you have done in your life. Present perfect. Example. I have traveled to 5 countries.
Something you have done for a period of time that continues. Present perfect. Example: I have studied English for 3 years. Post your sentences in the comments. I'll help you if you make mistakes. Congratulations! You've just completed a comprehensive lesson on past simple versus present perfect through real-life stories. Key takeaways: past simple, specific finished time in the past, completed actions, time words: yesterday, last week, in 2015, ago. Present perfect, connection to present, life experience, time not mentioned, continuing situation, for, sense. Time words: ever, never, yet, already, just, for, since. The most important question is, does this connect to now? Yes equals present perfect. No equals past simple. Remember, these tenses help you tell your story. When you can tell your story in English, using the correct tenses naturally, you will truly feel that the language belongs to you. Your homework: write your own life story using both tenses, 5 to 10 sentences. Record yourself telling it. Listen back and check your tense usage. Shadowing practice: listen to this lesson again and repeat everything I said. This will train your brain to use these tenses automatically. Thank you for learning with me today. Keep practicing, keep telling your stories, and remember, grammar is just a tool to help you share your experiences with the world. What's one thing you did yesterday? Past simple. What's one thing you have done in your life? Present perfect. Share in the comments. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Your English journey is a story worth telling.
Hello, my wonderful English learners. Welcome back to our channel. Before we start today's important lesson, I want to say something from my heart. I upload new videos to our channel every day for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support me so I can continue doing this. You can help me see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of my videos. Please don't forget to do these. Thank you for being here. Your support means everything. Now, let's begin a lesson that might change not just your English, but also your life. I want to ask you a very personal question, and I want you to really think about your answer. When you look back at the last year of your life, do you feel proud of how you spent your time? Or do you sometimes feel like time is passing quickly, but you're not really moving forward? Maybe you feel like you're busy every day, but at the end of the week, you think, what did I actually accomplish? If you've ever felt this way, today's lesson is for you. We're going to learn English vocabulary for talking about purpose, goals, time management, and living a meaningful life. But this isn't just a language lesson. These are conversations you'll have with yourself, with friends, with colleagues about what really matters. Teaching note: these topics come up in deep conversations, job interviews, and personal reflections. Today, we'll explore vocabulary for finding and expressing your purpose, talking about time and priorities,
discussing personal growth and challenges, describing meaningful relationships, and taking action on your goals. We'll learn phrases that help you express deep ideas clearly in English while also thinking about important life questions. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Are you ready to learn English vocabulary that truly matters? Let's begin.
Let's start with one of the most important concepts: purpose. Key vocabulary: purpose and meaning. Purpose, the reason you do something, your why. Fulfillment, a deep feeling of satisfaction from doing something meaningful. Direction, knowing where you're going in life. Existence, simply being alive. Living, being alive with meaning and purpose. Teaching note, there's a big difference between existing, just being alive, and living, having purpose and meaning. Understanding the difference. Existence is waking up, going to work, eating, sleeping, repeat. Living is doing things that matter to you, growing, connecting, creating meaning. Phrases about purpose. I'm searching for my purpose. I want to find meaning in my life. I need a clear direction. I feel fulfilled when My purpose is the compass metaphor. Purpose is like a compass. It shows you which direction to go. Without it, you might be moving, but you don't know if you're going anywhere meaningful. Example, I was working 60 hours a week making money, but I felt empty inside. I realized I had no purpose beyond earning a paycheck. Key vocabulary: direction and goals. Compass, a tool that shows direction, metaphor for purpose. Empty, feeling like something is missing inside. Meaningful, having significance or importance. Directionless, without a clear goal or path. Aimless, wandering without purpose. Teaching note. Aimless literally means without aim, like shooting an arrow without a target. How to talk about finding purpose. Questions people ask. What is my purpose in life? What gives my life meaning? What do I want to be remembered for? What makes me feel fulfilled? Answers you might give. My purpose is to help others learn. I find meaning in creative work. I feel fulfilled when I spend time with family. My direction is becoming clearer. Common mistake. Don't think purpose must be something huge, like save the world. Purpose can be simple. My purpose is to be a good parent. I find meaning in teaching one student at a time. I feel fulfilled helping my elderly neighbor. Important phrases. Purpose doesn't have to be grand.
I'm living with intention now. I found my direction. I know what matters to me. This gives my life meaning. Practice. Complete this sentence. I feel most fulfilled when I...
Now, let's talk about something we all struggle with: managing our time wisely. Key vocabulary: time as resource. Fleeting equals lasting only a short time. Irreplaceable cannot be replaced or gotten back. Finite, having a limit, not infinite. Precious, extremely valuable. Waste, to use carelessly or pointlessly. Teaching note: time is the only resource you can never get back. You can earn more money, but you can't earn more time. The core truth about time: time is fleeting. Once it passes, you can never get it back. Unlike money, which you can lose and earn again, time lost is lost forever. Phrases about time: time is my most valuable resource. I can't get that time back. Time is passing quickly. I need to use my time wisely. Every hour counts. Procrastination vocabulary. Key vocabulary: delay and avoidance. Procrastination equals delaying important tasks. Put off equals delay or postpone. Tomorrow syndrome equals always saying I'll start tomorrow. Delay equals make something happen later. Postpone equals move to a future time. Teaching note: procrastination comes from Latin pro plus cross equals tomorrow. Literally putting forward to tomorrow. Common procrastination phrases: negative. I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I have more time. I'm too busy right now. Maybe next week. I'm not ready yet. Example: I kept saying I'll start exercising tomorrow. Months passed. Then a year passed. I finally realized tomorrow never comes. Better alternatives. Positive action. I'll start today, even with just 5 minutes. I'll do it now while I'm thinking about it. I'll make time for what matters. I'm ready enough to begin. Small progress is still progress. Distraction vocabulary. Key vocabulary: things that steal time. Distraction is something that takes your attention away. Leak is a slow loss over time. Metaphor. Scroll is to look through content without purpose. Mindless is without thinking or awareness. Time sink is something that consumes large amounts of time. Teaching note: time sink is like a drain. Time just disappears into it. The leaking tank metaphor. Distractions are like a water tank with small leaks. Each leak seems small, but by morning, the tank is empty. Modern distractions. I opened my phone to check the weather and ended up scrolling for 30 minutes. I planned to watch one video, but 3 hours passed. I meant to send a quick email, but got lost in social media. Phrases about distractions. I got distracted by my phone.
Social media is stealing my time. I waste too much time on... These distractions are adding up. I need to protect my time better. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us.
Now let's talk about solutions, living with intention, and committing to growth. Living with intention. Key vocabulary. Purposeful living. Intention equals a clear plan or aim for what you want to do. Intentional equals done on purpose, with thought. Deliberate equals carefully thought out. Mindful equals paying full attention. Purposeful equals having a clear purpose. Teaching note. Intentional means you made a conscious choice, not just letting life happen to you. The GPS metaphor. Intention is like a GPS for life. Without it, you drive in circles, wasting fuel. With it, even if you take a longer road, you're still moving toward the right place. Phrases for intentional living. I'm living with intention now. I make deliberate choices. I'm mindful of how I spend my time. I'm intentional about my relationships. I choose my priorities carefully. Practical examples. Before, I watch TV every night because there's nothing else to do. After, I intentionally spend evenings reading because it helps me grow. Before, I just go with the flow and see what happens. After, I set clear intentions for my week. Common mistake. Don't confuse living with intention with being perfect. Intention is about direction, not perfection. Better, I'm intentional about my time, but I'm also flexible when things don't go as planned. Continuous growth. Key vocabulary. Personal development. Growth equals positive change and improvement. Stagnant equals not moving or developing. Stale equals old and uninteresting, lacking freshness. Evolve equals to develop gradually. Progress equals forward movement toward a goal. Teaching note. Stagnant is like standing water that doesn't flow. It becomes smelly and unhealthy. The standing water metaphor. A life without growth is like standing water. It just sits there and slowly gets stale. Phrases about growth.
I'm committed to continuous growth. I'm always learning something new. I feel stagnant when I stop learning. Personal growth is my priority. I'm evolving into a better version of myself. Small steps to growth. I read 1 page before bed every night. I practice English for 10 minutes daily. I learn 1 new word each day. I try 1 new thing each month. Example: when I stopped reading books, I felt stuck, like I was living the same week over and over. When I started reading again, even just 2 pages a night, I felt alive again. Phrases for describing stagnation. Negative. I feel stuck in a rut. I'm not growing anymore. My life feels repetitive. I'm in the same place I was last year. Phrases for describing growth. Positive. I'm making progress every day. I feel myself evolving. I'm becoming the person I want to be. Growth is uncomfortable, but necessary.
Let's talk about 3 final important topics: relationships, challenges, and taking action. The value of relationships. Key vocabulary. Connections. Connection equals a feeling of being close to someone. Relationship equals how you relate to another person. Investment equals time and energy you put into something. Material equals physical objects and possessions. Treasure equals something extremely valuable. Teaching note: we can invest time in people, meaning we put our valuable time into building relationships. The key insight: material things bring temporary happiness. Relationships bring lasting fulfillment. Comparison phrases: I bought an expensive gadget, and the excitement faded in a week. But memories of laughing with friends last forever. Things lose their value. Relationships gain value over time. I can replace a phone. I can't replace a friendship. Phrases about relationships. I'm investing in meaningful relationships. People matter more than possessions. Love and connection are treasures you can't buy. Relationships are mirrors that reflect who we are. True wealth is measured in connections, not possessions. Embracing challenges. Key vocabulary: difficulties and growth. Challenge equals a difficult situation that tests you. Struggle equals to work hard against difficulties. Embrace equals to accept willingly. Obstacle equals something that blocks your path. Resilience equals ability to recover from difficulties. Teaching note: embrace literally means to hug. So, embrace challenges means to welcome them like a friend. The key reframe: challenges are not walls to stop us, they're weights
to build our muscles. Phrases about challenges. I embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. Struggles make me stronger. Difficulties build resilience. Every challenge is a teacher. Without conflict, life would be boring.
Example: I failed my driving test the first time. I was devastated. But when I finally passed, the victory felt so sweet because I had struggled for it. Avoiding someday and taking action. Key vocabulary: action versus waiting. Someday means an unspecified future time. Often means never. Momentum is energy that keeps something moving. Action is doing something, not just thinking. Delay is to put off to a later time. Now is the present moment. Teaching note: someday is called the most dangerous word because it lets us avoid taking action. The truth about someday. Someday often means never. Dangerous phrases. Avoid these. Someday I'll start learning guitar. When I have more time, I'll start exercising. I'll do it when everything is perfect. I'm waiting for the right moment. Powerful alternatives. I'll start today, even if imperfectly. I'll take one small step right now. The right moment is now. I don't need to climb the whole mountain. Just take one step. Phrases for action. I'm starting today, not someday. Small actions create momentum. I'm done waiting for perfect conditions. Action beats perfection. My first step is more important than my last.
Today, we've learned vocabulary, not just for speaking English, but for speaking about what matters most in life. Quick review of key concepts. Purpose, your compass in life. Time, your most precious, irreplaceable resource. Procrastination, the thief that steals your life. Intention, living with deliberate choices. Growth, never becoming stagnant water. Relationships, true treasures that last. Challenges, weights that build your strength. Action, starting now, not someday. Important vocabulary to remember. Fulfillment, purpose, direction. Fleeting, precious, irreplaceable. Procrastination, distraction, intention. Stagnant, growth, evolve. Embrace, challenge, momentum. Someday, action, now. Your reflection challenge. Answer these questions for yourself, in English if you can. What gives my life meaning and purpose? Where am I wasting time that I could invest better? What have I been saying someday about that I could start today? Who are the people I need to invest more time in? What small action can I take right now? Write your thoughts in the comments.
I'd love to hear what this lesson made you think about. Remember, you're not just learning English. You're learning to express your deepest values and goals. These conversations will help you connect with others on a meaningful level. Thank you for spending these 30 minutes with me. Time is precious, and you chose to spend it learning and growing. That choice itself shows you're not wasting your life. You're investing in yourself. Now go take one small action towards something that matters to you. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, live with purpose, invest your time wisely, and remember, someday is today.